Well, it's going to be a busy night tonight. 4 starters out. Tyrese Maxey shouldering the load for the Sixers as they take on the Orlando Magic at home for Game 3 of the NBA Cup. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers pregame show. We are live from the Xfinity studio. Rich, Devon, Bree, she's our president of basketball operations. All of you, thank you for hanging out with us on this rainy Tuesday as we get ready for the holidays and a basketball game tonight. We are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. Later on, we'll give our pregame picks courtesy of Bet365. We'll also have to look at Maxey just simply. Can he get some heroics out there once again like we've seen all season long?
Gonna have to.
And 4 starters out. We begin with the frustrating team that is right now your 9-7 Philadelphia 76ers. Not out of it. And that's partly why, Rich, it is kind of frustrating as things are playing out the way that they are with all these injuries.
Devon, I'm tired, man. I'm actually tired because I did a rare 6:30 p.m. coffee. Usually that's a no-no for your boy because I'm just going to stay up all night, right? That caffeine after, let's say 2 p.m., 3 p.m., that's a no-no. But I'm tired. I didn't sleep that well last night. But I am tired of how much the Sixers are asking of Tyrese Maxey. And you mentioned that this is a frustrating team. On the court, I'm not that frustrated by the team, right? Because as we say, they play hard every single night. Maxey brings it every single night. And they're in most of these games. Is it a perfect team? Is the offense very good over the past few weeks? No. But I think realistically, I feel pretty good about what we are seeing on the court. And much of that is Tyrese Maxey. But man, these injuries are pretty crazy. And I don't know why, because in the offseason they said they're going to take it conservative. Joel was pretty clear about that. He was clear in the big ESPN feature about that. He was pretty clear at Media Day about that as well. And it sounds so much better in the offseason than when it's a Tuesday night and like the Sixers, there's been a lot of rest time for these guys. And you also have a situation where Joel Embiid was listed as questionable yesterday, and Paul George was listed as probable yesterday, and they are not playing in this game. And it just stinks, man. And I'm like, look, I don't know exactly how they are handling these injuries. It seems like they are being ultra conservative with this, with an eye on maybe these guys being healthy in the second half of the season. And I don't want to get into a whole argument over that, because who knows exactly what they're doing. But man, is there an NBA franchise that is asking more of a player than Tyrese Maxey right now?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No. When you go down the list of the teams around the league and teams that are having some really good starts, even with players like, look, Trae Young is out. What happens? Jalen Johnson levels up and plays this game the way that he is doing. But they have so many other players. Nickeil Alexander-Walker stepping up. Kristaps Porzingis is playing pretty well. Risha Shea having his moments as well. And certainly you know what you get from Dyson Daniels and Onyeka Okongwu. No, Tyrese Maxey is the one that's carrying the burden of this basketball team, and he has done so through the first 16 games.
The only two that I could think of off the top of my head were Nikola Jokic and Giannis. And those guys just make it look easy because they're established MVP level players. Maxey is moving up the hierarchy. But for them to ask this much of him, and Giannis is out. So, so I don't think he even counts right now because he's currently not playing. And it's just, I don't know, man, this is a bummer. Here's a guy, he responds to his first bit of professional adversity. Everything has been pretty good for him, where he steps in and he has the great playoffs as a rookie kind of out of nowhere. And that was a weird season, right? It was the COVID year. He was in and out of the rotation. Second year, it's like, oh man, you're asking a lot of him with this Ben Simmons holdout. Can he be a starting level point guard? Answer, yes. Third season, can he be the number 3 option on a team that was actually trying to win a title? Also, yes. And he just continues to level up. Fourth season, can he be kind of an all-star level player? Yes. And so now the load that they are making him handle, it's so much. And so he has the rough year last year, but everything from him has been an absolute A+. Season prep and off-season work, A+. What we have seen on the court so far this year, A+. Everything off the court that we see, A+. He's also playing through some injury too. Remember, he hurt the shoulder the other night, folks. I think he was probable on the injury report as well. And I look at this roster So Joel Embiid and Paul George have played 6 of 17 games and 3 of 17 games, both of which are on heavy minutes restrictions, right? Tyrese Maxey, we know, is playing more than anybody in the NBA, but it's not really 6 of 17 and 3 of 17. They're playing 2/3 of what they would normally play in those games. So you have that. But Devon, here's the other thing that's really starting to bother me right now. When you look at the bottom of the roster, spots 12 through 15, Eric Gordon has played 21 total minutes on the season. Broom has played 7 minutes on the season. And that one...
It was in a blowout.
Yeah, and that one, okay, he's a rookie, the second-round pick, fine. Kyle Lowry, who is basically an assistant coach, they're not even pretending that he is here to play basketball, played 3 minutes in one game. And yeah, it was fun when he made that shot. It was against Brooklyn. It was their one blowout. And so when you have the lack of availability at the top of the roster outside of Tyrese Maxey, and then a lack of availability at the bottom of the roster, because I didn't even mention the 15th roster spot doesn't exist right now. So you're basically lighting 6 roster spots on fire for a lot of these games. And yes, I get it. They have a couple of two-way guys in Dom Barlow and Jabari Walker who do soak up some of the minutes. But man, it just puts such an incredible amount of stress on the rest of your roster. And that part is frustrating to me because we say this all the time. We say the NBA has never been more physically demanding on these players. Tyrese Maxey gets guarded 94 feet by some pit bull guard or some long wing the entire game. Teams press, they play fast. Depth has never been more important in the NBA right now. And the amount of stress that you are putting on Tyrese Maxey and players 4 through 11 on your roster is crazy because now you have guys like VJ Edgecombe who you played 1 million minutes early on, but again, some of that is at least out of necessity. That's a guy who probably should be slotting in as a 4th or 5th option to start at least, right? Somebody who can get his feet wet. Well, no, I mean, he has the great start to the season and he becomes integral to your team. Now that he's hurt and they're playing it safe with him, which rightfully so, it just puts so much stress on your roster. And you have a game tonight where, look, am I going to be excited if Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain go nuts in this game? Yes, but asking them to continually play close game after close game, it's just, it's very frustrating to me. So it does not seem like he's getting a lot of help. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of urgency here. And I don't know. I feel for him because I think he deserves better.
And Rich, this is coming off the heels of us asking them to get off to a good start, which they have done, as you said. They played some really good, fun basketball. They've lost 7 of those games. I'd say 6 of them were close at the end. Maybe 1 got away from them of their 7 losses, but they've been in every single basketball game this year. You said 6 Embiid on the floor, 3 for Paul George on the floor, and Tyrese Maxey has played in all of them. Now he's dealing with the shoulder injury and all the minutes that you mentioned that we've been talking about all season long. I don't know what they're going to do, man, because he can probably win you some games like this. Last season, when this was the lineup that he was running out there with, he couldn't win those games.
No.
This year, he can win those games. And he might,
which is
with
crazy.
Jared McCain, win those games tonight and maybe even on Friday when they play Brooklyn. Who knows who will be back? But if not, maybe they'll give them an extra day off because of the simple fact that they're playing Brooklyn. Brooklyn, by the way, is playing more competitive basketball. Not winning the games, but more competitive. That being said, it is there is way too much being asked of this guy. Number one is the fact that he's playing the total amount of minutes. Number two, he's supposed to have this nice depth around him. You can't do anything about the Kelly Oubre, who's always available. He gets hurt. Not his fault. VJ Edgecombe, as Rich pointed out, you have to be safe and careful about that. This is a young guy who's played 38 minutes a game. Far too many for him, but he's also in the similar category as Tyrese Maxey, where you have to keep him out there on the floor, especially because your 2 stars who are there in Embiid and George are not getting any minutes out there because they're playing 6 and 3 collectively of the 17 games. So therefore, you have to run these guys out there. It's a testament to what Tyrese Maxey has done so far this season for us to include him in all NBA conversation, top 10 MVP conversation for the things that he has done as the second leading scorer in the NBA, where he has to carry them to a win on the road against a shorthanded Milwaukee team to put up a career high 54 points because that's how amazing he has been this year. But it shouldn't have to come down to that. A long NBA season, games like that are going to play out. He's going to have a game like that. Paul George might have a game like that. Joel Embiid is going to have a game like that in a long NBA season. But for Tyrese Maxey to have as many minutes logged already through 17, where they are in all of these basketball games again, if he had those other players out there on the floor, maybe they aren't close games. Maybe they are off the floor later in the fourth quarter. Maybe they are sitting back getting ready for the second night of a back-to-back where they didn't have to tax themselves so much in game one to prepare for game two because the other players were available to run the other team out of the gym, give themselves an opportunity to get a little bit of a breather and be fresher for game number two the next night. It is. It's tough to sit here and watch this because all the things that he has preached, Rich,
he's done.
He's followed it.
He's done.
He's done all of it.
He's been an A+ in all of those things.
And he talked about that standard that's always playing during the broadcast, during the commercials. He has set a new standard. So every time out there, he said, you're going to know what type of Sixers basketball you're going to get. I'm not going to make any third quarter jokes because that's not his fault. But the standard has been set of they are going to compete every single night. They have done just that through 17 games. And it is being asked too much of this guy to carry this much of a load for this basketball team with not enough help all around. The roster looked so much better when you have Edgecombe, Oubre, George, and Embiid out there to help him out a little bit. This is tough for him to have to pick up wins. It's going to be really difficult for him to do that.
Think about that hot start, man. Part of the reason they beat the Orlando Magic the first time, which was one of the best games of the year, and the ball was hopping around the perimeter. Maxey was good, but VJ was awesome as well. You had VJ, you had Kelly Oubre, opportunistic scoring from him as well. When you are down a couple of your regular players that if Nick Nurse has the rest of this roster is going to play these guys 35 plus minutes per game, it's just tough. So look, I mean, I think when you look at dropping his minutes, one of the better signs is that Jared McCain has shown in the last game that, okay, he might be on the track. I would love to see another good Jared McCain game tonight. I mean, he's going to get every opportunity because they don't really have any other option. But Jared McCain feels like the best chance they have at a backup point guard who can stabilize, because I love what VJ and Quentin Grimes have done so far on the season. The one bad thing, the minutes without Tyrese Maxey have been pretty rough, and they've been pretty rough to the eye test, and also statistically, they're not a very efficient offense without those guys. Hopefully, Jared McCain provides the best option at stabilizing the offense so the Sixers can survive when Tyrese Maxey's on the bench and he can get just 6 minutes of rest in each half. So
look,
that's important.
They've had a few days off. A day off. It's Tuesday, so they played this weekend. They had a day off. Let's see how fresh they are. Let's see what Nick Nurse has drawn up. He is not unfamiliar with being in this territory. So is he going to have a pretty good offense to run out there? Will we see some really good ball movement? The defense is ready to go, all of that stuff. Let's talk about it a little bit more when we get back as we hang out with you. 4 starters out. We're going to talk about that as well. Embiid, George, Edgecombe, and Oubre out tonight. Tyrese Maxey and the rest of the group. Tough matchup tonight in this NBA Cup game against the Orlando Magic. We'll discuss it all when we get back. Right here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show presented by, I'm telling you on the other side, Bet365, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. This would be a pretty good bet for you tonight. If you're feeling good about your squad, you said, you know what, all this talk, Tyrese, he's my all-star. He's an all-NBA level player. He's going to pick up his play even more than he has all season. Well, how can he do that? Well, just simply by winning the game. But if you want to make a bet, place a ticket at Bet365. All you have to do is go sign up to become a member, be one of the 90 million users worldwide, where you have 780,000 events, live events each year streamed on the app. You can also, they've pioneered live in-game betting. Let me tell you about Tuesday, because Tuesday is a pretty good day for you at Bet365. Let me pull it up here on the phone. I simply go to the app, bang, go to the app right away. What do I see? I see that you can get a 30% profit boost right now at Bet365 if you go in and sign up so you can place a wager. How about something else? Let me give you another one. That when you go to a safety net bet for Tuesday tip-offs, just like that. That's what you get at Bet365. Go ahead and make your wagers, place them all. If you're not signed up, well, I got something for you. Breaking news from Bet365. All new customers get $150 in bonus bets when you sign up. That's correct. Win or lose, you get those bonus bets. All you have to do is download the app, and when you do, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, you get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. No one else is doing that. Only Bet365. You can use those bonus bets on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more right at Bet365. We're going to do that a little bit later for our pregame picks. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, the other day, I was at Derek Bodner's place. He was pumped to watch some hoops, but his setup, it was a total mess. Lagging, buffering, and switching between apps trying to find the game. He claimed he was a big fan, but I felt like I was fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a big fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place, and the way that I watch is next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right there in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear that it feels like I'm in the arena. Xfinity Mobile Arena. And guys, sometimes I've got 4 games going at once because why not? And on top of that, I get real-time notifications and live stats right there on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. So next game day, make sure that big fan like Derek Bodner is not a big fail, and learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
We're back here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show. Rich, Devon, Bree, all of you, thank you for hanging out with us. Let's get to some audio from the earlier pregame availability from the head coach, Nick Nurse. We've talked about Nick Nurse. Rich brought him up, and all that is going on right now with the team. So let's hear what he had to say. Kyle had some audio and some video. So let's run these. Let's start off with Embiid, Bree, where we talk about Joel Embiid. Nick Nurse, he was earlier in the day. He was what? Questionable? Looked like he might be available to go. Let's hear what Nick Nurse tells us of why things changed.
I guess that's, obviously we saw Joe, shooting a shooter this morning. I guess kind of what happened between shooting them.
Yeah, just not quite there yet. I mean, you guys know that we said yesterday he practiced fully and he participated in most, parts of the shoot around today, but just not quite there.
Isn't he like swelling to your knowledge or anything, or is it just kind of something?
Do not believe so. Yeah, do not believe so.
I guess if he is not quite ready, do you know why he was upgraded to questionable in the first place?
I guess I would say there was a chance he would be ready. And I think that's what we have to do. Yeah.
And I guess
It was trending towards he was going to play, right? Yeah.
And then I guess is there anything?
Good question by Kyle on that follow-up. Well, what changed? He looked like he was going to be questionable.
Scoop
Newbeck. Yeah, that's it. So
turning Big J and really grilling the head coach.
Nurse looked like he really didn't. Nurse is really quick on these, and on that one, it looked like he was just like, I don't know.
I mean, some of it I think is beyond his control.
Exactly.
Right? And is the messaging great? No. I think probably the PG messaging is even worse in this case, right? Because Joel was questionable, and I think we sort of knew what was coming here. But PG, he rolls an ankle sort of out of nowhere, and he's listed as probable yesterday, and then it's just a very quick he's out in tonight's game. I think that one bothers me even more. But look, Joel has been out for how long is this? 3 weeks now?
Yeah, so this will be game number 8.
It's a long time, right? And obviously, I think we said that he was probably overcompensating and using that other knee. It's Nick Nurse is making it sound like he's probably going to play on Friday and is not too far away. But yeah, I know it's frustrating, and it seems like this one was sort of beyond his control, right? And I think it's a matter of they probably inform him during the middle of the day. Hey, guess what? These guys aren't playing. We thought maybe he was going to play. But yeah, look, the messaging is not great. And if you guys want to be frustrated about it, I get it, because I'm a little bit frustrated by it too.
Yep. So Adem Bona, VJ Edgecombe, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Kelly Oubre are out. George's ankle is a right ankle sprain. And we'll see. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to speculate right now. Let's hear from the head coach on Paul George and see what he has to say about probable to now out.
Is there anything on PG
Nope, just that it is reported soreness in the ankle after the game the other night. Has not been in anything since then, and we're just trying to keep following up with that and see where he is. Yeah.
Is there a concern that he's going to miss time?
I'm not there. We're not there yet. I think we're in the process of checking to see what exactly is wrong and what the extent of it is. And we'll obviously give you that when we got it.
Well, if anybody wants to know, because you like the Paul George sneakers that he had, I think he had about 6 or 7 of them, very popular in the NBA. PG1s are coming back, low cut. Maybe he can get those back on the feet. And he didn't, have any. We don't know if he had many ankle injuries with those, Paul George. The PG1s are coming back, as a report that I saw. So, this one is the one that you're like, all right, he just gets back, plays 3 games, looks pretty darn good in game number 2, where he drops that 21 and it helped them win that basketball game against Milwaukee. And no, not Milwaukee. That was the game before that one.
Yeah, Milwaukee. Yeah, he looked good in that game.
Was it Milwaukee?
Yeah,
because
he
started off
rusty against the Clippers, looked good against Milwaukee, and then it played like they had a weird game with the minutes.
Yes.
The other day because we were like, where was he to start the beginning of the second half? And Nurse was like, well, we had to match up his minutes with Jaime Jaquez's, but really he didn't play that many minutes in the second half. He didn't really feel like he got to his full minutes allotment. I wonder if this ankle injury was part of that, but. Look, man, it's just another guy who's out, and you have a guy in Justin Edwards who is, God bless Justin Edwards. He's trying his hardest, but he's not a perimeter stopper. Like he's a guy who you can attack off the dribble, and he's going to have to guard Franz Wagner tonight, Desmond Bane tonight during stretches, because he is the only wing-sized player they have available tonight. I guess you can play like Barlow against some of those guys as well, but man, you're really mixing and matching with not the skill sets that you'd be looking to do that. So,
but you're also putting guys at risk of foul trouble too, because you're going to have to ask them to play out of position. They're going to have to do different things. They're going to pick up these fouls. Andre Drummond is the only technical 5 where you have Walker and Barlow playing 5 minutes.
By the way, also playing 1,000,000 minutes, Andre Drummond.
Yes, because he's playing well, right? He's playing well and he's backing it up. But then this is where we get back to. Look, we weren't the biggest Janai Broome fan, but guess what? He might need to get on the floor at some point to help take away from some of those minutes and even get those other guys back into their roles. But I guess they haven't seen enough of much from him to put him out there in the spots to take away some of the pressure off of those 3 guys that are playing the center minutes from Walker, Barlow, and of course Andre Drummond is the starter.
Yes, and it's just the minutes load on all of these guys is crazy, man. So I've actually heard some calls in the last few days that Maxey needs to play more off the ball because, and frankly, if you look at his isolation numbers, because he's soaking up so many of these tough possessions, they aren't great. When you look at him, his overall numbers are amazing. I would love to see Tyrese Maxey more off the ball and use more like a Steph Curry type player. But
who's on the ball?
I looked at, well, first off, who's on the ball? That's a great question. And the other thing is playing like Steph Curry is tiring. And I looked at this. After tonight's game, Maxey will have played, let's say Maxey gets a normal Tyrese Maxey game, 35 something minutes. He will have played about 220 minutes more than Steph Curry on this season, despite the fact that Curry's team, even after tonight, will have played 2 more overall games than the Sixers. So it's just like, some of these bad habits that the Sixers have, I'm not like completely excusing them, but I also just think they're gassed too. And I think that is another issue. So yeah, hopefully these guys are back for Friday's game against Brooklyn. And hopefully at some point in this season, they're able to play more regular minutes. But this idea of like, well, we just got to save them for the playoffs or save them from the second half of the year. The way the Sixers are going right now, man,
got to get there first.
You got to get there first, and it doesn't feel that sustainable. You need superhero level stuff from Maxey. You're in close games every single game, which is awesome, but you've been running pretty well in those close games.
Does he have another one in him, Rich, tonight?
I would love to see it.
After tonight, they don't play until Friday against Brooklyn. Does he have another game like that in him?
Wouldn't it be
nice?
May
not even need to be 54. It's just the way that the game goes over where they have enough when it comes to the defense that they can slow Orlando down a little bit. And he can get his average, maybe a little bit more, closer to 40, not 50.
It's going to be close to 40.
And you need a double-double from Andre Drummond. You need a really good Jared McCain game. You need some shots to fall from you're asking for the perfect storm tonight against this Magic team, basically.
Gonna need good Trendon Watford tonight.
You're going to need good Trendon. He had 19 off the bench. You're going to need good Quentin Grimes as well. And he kind of gets lost where we just
totally
go over him.
And look, some nights we get bad Quentin Grimes, right? He's an up and down player in that he struggles, and when he's asked to do a little bit too much in terms of putting the ball on the floor, it's not great. It's been funny. People have been comparing him a little bit to Danny Green in that they don't want him to put the ball on the floor. He's got a little more.
No, he's better.
He's got more juice than Danny Green in terms of putting the ball on the floor. But obviously, the point that the more he dribbles, the more mistake prone he is. But Quentin Grimes has been, in terms of just showing up every night and playing hard, has been terrific this season. And his defense is underrated, man. When you look at some of the defensive numbers and where he ranks in terms of shots contested and what the players he's guarding or shooting, it's a really impressive number so far for Quentin Grimes this year. So yes, you're going to need another game. By the way, I expect Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes, Andre Drummond, I expect all of these guys to play super hard tonight. And is the idea of a couple of those guys going off for 30, in Maxey's case, 40 points, maybe 20 points in McCain's
well, look, we saw Grimes do this last season, Rich.
Grimes can go nuts.
He did it last season. Here you go. Bree's right on time. Bree throws up the starting lineup. Maxey, Grimes in the backcourt, Edwards and Barlow in the front court with Andre Drummond. So that means Watford, Walker, and McCain are your three main off the bench with, I'd assume, Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry.
You got to play some of those guys tonight.
Janai Broom.
You got to play one of those guys
Is
tonight.
Hunter Salas with the team just to soak up 3 minutes, right?
We'll find out.
Yeah, starting lineup for the Orlando Magic. Suggs, Bane, Wagner, and De Silva, along with Wendell Carter out there on the floor.
And they've been playing better. They have an interesting little scenario going on right now.
4 in a row?
They lost to Boston the other night.
The other night. I was watching them against the Knicks.
And they played well in that game.
Yeah, they beat the Knicks.
They beat the Knicks pretty good. That was like a pretty clear win. They have an interesting thing going on right now because when the Sixers played them earlier in the year, Franz and Paolo were playing. We're on like year 3 of when Paolo sits, and I like Paolo, man. Like that guy in the playoffs against Boston last year did some really good things. There is some evidence that's mounting that when it's Franz and no Paolo, they play
like a better team.
They play pretty well in the regular season. So look, obviously they are missing an all-star level player
he's
as well.
He's a walking 30, man.
But everybody else is available. They are a deeper team, and when Paolo is good, I really appreciate his game. I think he can get buckets against probably the best defenses in the league, but he does have a little bit of a ball stopping type tendency. And yeah, they have functioned very well without him. So this is a good team. This team has been playing much better than when the Sixers probably caught them at a good time in the first week of the season because they were working out the kinks. The offense was a little bit up and down, I would say, at that point. They're trending in the right direction. So this is a good team they're playing tonight. Yeah,
really is. All right, let's get to our Bet365 pregame picks presented by, I just said it, Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I've been cold, Bree's been hot. So, of course, we start with Bree's picks for tonight's Sixers Magic game. Let's get to it. Let's see what we have here. Oh, she was actually busy, like really busy. Sorry, because guys. We have Reading Terminal tomorrow. We have all these other great deals that we have to get ready for.
The people are missing betting Bree's picks. No.
Yes.
Bree's very busy.
All right, so let's run mine. Mine was plus 125. Quentin Grimes in the starting role, 15 points or more. And Andre Drummond to get a double-double. Yeah, that equals up to plus 125 tonight. Hopefully that's an easy one for you. Go sign up. Again, use PHLY 365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. When you do sign up as a new customer, you get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. How you feeling? Competitive game? They've been in all these. Do you feel like this will be a close one?
I think it's going to be somewhat close.
For a while.
Just because this team really hasn't gotten blown out. It would be understandable if they got their butts kicked in one of these games because I feel like that's going to happen at some point. But look, I've complained for 30 minutes and I think I've been right to complain because I'm frustrated with this whole situation. But Tyrese and Jared, let's go nuts, guys. Let's go nuts and let's win a game on national television on NBC, little round ball rock, leading us into tonight's game. Let's because if they do play well, people will be talking about that. Only 3 games tonight.
Only 3 games tonight. All right, everybody, before we step away, want to tell you about a lot of you are diehard members in there, and you have signed up already at diehard to become a diehard member, allphly.com. Right now, we have a diehard VIP sale going on for extra deals off right now on merchandise. So please go check that out. Also, you get early access with that, diehardstore.allcitynetwork.com. So go check that out. Also, Kyle has put together a story at allphly.com writing about these very injuries that we're discussing here on the show, with so many of these players out of the lineup, Tyrese Maxey and the rest, to carry the load tonight against the Orlando Magic. And we have our Reading Terminal schedule for you tomorrow. We will be there at 2:30. It begins at 9 a.m. with Anthony Gargano. So everyone get ready for that. We will be there tomorrow, all of us, at some time or another, where you'll run into us there at the Reading Terminal Market. We'll talk about it more post-game. Wanted to put it on your radar now so you can maybe make a couple of phone calls, send some texts, all that stuff, to get ready to hang out with us tomorrow at Reading Terminal. We'll be back after the game, 10 minutes after the game goes final. Us three, we will be here with you discussing maybe a win. Sixers are 0-2 in the cup play. Orlando's 2-0. In cup play.
Oh no, it's a cup game. They lose those even when they're at full strength.
Blue court, it's happening, everybody.
Oh, no.
We're talking about it after the game. Enjoy. We'll see you right after, right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show.
We all silly like the mayor.